The government of Karnataka's Department of IT, BT and S&T has always been in the forefront, and with the support and guidance under the leadership of Shri IAS and Prasad, the Principal Secretary, has always been a pioneer in taking various steps towards showcasing India to the entire world. I would now request the Principal Secretary, Shri IAS and Prasad, to address all of us. Swagatisi, Shri IAS and Prasad.
Thank you. At the outset, may I convey the apologies of Mr. S.V. Ranganath, Chief Secretary, who was Government of Karnataka, who was supposed to be here. He's asked me to convey his apologies because just yesterday the government decided to swear in the new Lokayukta at 9:30 a.m. today at Raj Bhavan, so the timing was clashing, and the Chief Secretary is the authority to do the actual swearing in, so he had to be present there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here. And personally, I do believe that ESDM sector is a sector which is very vulnerable in many ways. And as compared to the IT sector, it has various, it has a higher risk built into it, higher capital costs, higher gestation periods, and various other disadvantages in terms of the global market. And therefore, it's really timely that the Government of India has come up with this concerted effort on the policy and on the marketing front, and I would like to compliment Mr. Ajay Kumar as well as DIT on this, and the entire team which has worked on these policies, that this for the very timely intervention and very timely putting the focus back on ESDM. Somehow, I think 40 years back, 50 years back, we started off as a reasonably okay electronics country, with electronics and telecom on the forefront. The Department of Electronics was leading. We had ECL. We had a lot of things. But somewhere along the way, when IT came, I think the focus shifted. IT is a good thing also. I'm not against IT. I am IT Secretary also. But we lost somehow from the government side. I think we did not pay as much attention, whether it's the state government or the Government of India, to this ESDM sector as it deserves. And with that, I really appreciate DIT for coming up with this new policy. I only have one suggestion to Mr. Ajay Kumar, if you don't mind my saying so, but since this is a sector which requires all the help it can get, I believe that MSIPs should be available to even isolated companies, even if they're not located in the cluster. Today, while cluster definitely gives an advantage in operational efficiencies and effectiveness, maybe you can give them additional incentives if they're in a cluster, but little less incentives if they're outside the cluster. But let's not limit or confine them to the cluster. I mean, if there's somebody located outside, maybe something less, but let them also get the benefits. I will now talk a little about Karnataka. I can't resist the opportunity. All of you are aware that Karnataka is one of the big ICT states in India. Our ICT revenues are about 1,35,000 crores last year. We have around 85 chip design houses located in Karnataka, and I believe that we have the right ecosystem for further growth of ESDM in Karnataka. We have more than something like 366 R&D institutions and establishments in Karnataka, predominantly in Bangalore. This not only include government sector R&D establishments, but several in the private sector. We are actually almost the second largest technology cluster in the world, and in many, according to some surveys. And Karnataka ICT industry contributes to more than 35% of the national ICT industry's revenues, and 400 of Fortune 500 companies have outsourcing operations in Karnataka. Nevertheless, we made our own efforts for ESDM, and in 2010 we brought out the Karnataka hardware policy, in 2012 a semiconductor policy, but then we realized that this is not enough. And recognizing this gap, the Government of Karnataka had requested Mr. Mohandas Pai as chair and Mr. B.V. Naidu as co-chair, and they set up a committee under their leadership called the Karnataka ICT Group to comprehensively look at this whole sector with a special focus on ESDM. And that's what they did, and they've come up with a wonderful report, which is, I'll mention very briefly some of the points, but the entire report is placed on our website, itbtbangalore.in, and I strongly urge all the members to kindly go through it. The target given to this group was that by 2020, if our ICT revenues need to go up from 1,35,000 to 4 lakh crores, direct employment from something like 8.5 lakh direct employment to 20 lakhs, and to help incubate at least 1,000 startups. This was the broad mandate, with ESDM as the main focus of growth area. I'm very happy to say that this group, which consists of several people, some of them sitting on the stage, apart from Mr. Mohan Das Pai, Mr. Satya Gupta is a member of the group. I can see Mr. B.V. Naidu here, Professor Sadagopan, Mr. Sanjay Nayak, and I'm sorry if I'm missing some people, Mr. Sridhar Mita and others are there. They have done an excellent job. They looked at it very, very comprehensively, and this is one of the first reports I've seen in my career as a bureaucrat which is so comprehensive. They not only looked at the policy content, they looked at various programs, they looked at the infrastructure. In fact, they divided the whole report into, they looked at even things like branding. For instance, if you have to brand Karnataka and Bangalore, they looked at the relationships with other foreign countries, and they've given a very detailed report which covers several aspects. It includes not only the recommendations for the ESDM policy in terms of fiscal incentives, some post-production incentives, R&D incentives, and in incubation facilities, innovation centers. They looked at the entire education system to see where ICT can help that at the earlier stages itself. They looked at the Tier 2 emerging cities, and they said that we don't call them Tier 2, we should call them emerging ICT cities. And they've come up with a wonderful report, and I'm very happy to state that the government of Karnataka has accepted this report and has committed to implement the report in stages. What government of Karnataka has also done is they have requested this entire group, headed by Mr. Mohan Das Pai and B.V. Naidu, to continue, and they've extended their term so that they can do the hand-holding and monitor the implementation. And there's another committee headed by the Chief Secretary in which the concerned principal secretaries, etc., are present, which is responsible for ensuring the implementation of this group. And I'm very positive and confident that we will do this, and reasonable amount of financial allocations have also been made to ensure that this happens. I would only like to end by saying that we have had a very good relationship with ISA, and we will have a very good relationship with IESA starting today. And we have worked closely with them in the past. Even currently, IESA is working with us on looking at the 3 brownfield clusters and 1 greenfield cluster. They are doing the study for us. From Karnataka side, we would like to work very closely with DIT, IESA, Karnataka ICT Group, STPI, to ensure that Karnataka continues to be a happening place for ESDM. I request all of you to kindly look at Karnataka once again and welcome for investment in Karnataka. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Karnataka continues to offer an ideal environment and climate for investment and for the growth of the industry. Let's all thank Shri IAS and Prasad for words of assurance and comfort. Thank you, sir. Dhanyavadikalu.